Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, with Nico Rosberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo, and Raikkonen, Button, Bottas, Massa, and Sergio Perez. Kvyat, Alonso, Roman Grosjean, and Sainz, Hulkenberg, Gutierrez, Kevin Magnussen, and Jolyon Palmer, Ericsson, and Harry Anto, Felipe Nasser, and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Oh god, what am I doing here? What am I doing here on this game? Oh, we're doing it. Last to first, or let's say last to points, because last to first with MANOR is pretty much impossible unless you are Noble 2909 or those kind of league racers who, yeah, I'm not from them. I'm definitely not from them. So yeah, let's, oh god, doing a last 2 points challenge with a fucking MANOR racing team car. This will be a real challenge. Just I don't know why I decided to do this, but I'm doing it. As you can see here on the grid for the formation lap, we have Felipe Nasser sitting next to us. Of course, I can't use the 2017 mod because I'm playing this game on the PS4, and I thought, you know what, MANOR are not on the grid this year. This would have been one of their best opportunities for points, the Canadian Grand Prix, so let's just give it a try. So yeah, it would be very interesting where we finish, and yeah, as we already line up to the grid, this hopefully this will be a cracker. Hopefully this race will be a good one for us. We start on the soft tires, go long to the first turn, and then finish the race on the ultra softs. As the 5 red lights are coming on right now, it's lights out. Away we go, good start. We immediately pass the 2 Saubers, already up into P20. As we go up into turn 1, we go dive bomb into the side by side with 2 Renaults. Into turn 2, we try and go around the outside of Magnussen. Couldn't quite get it done, as I think that's Palmer who spun off our right rear tire. Green flags now again up as we go up the inside of Magnussen, and there's a virtual safety car. This has to be for Palmer, who spun on our right rear into turn 2. Yeah, let's check on the replay if that's actually what's happened there. Yeah, replay of the start. As you can see, wheel spin at the background from our car. We immediately passed the 2 Saubers off the line. As you can see, we went up the inside 3 wide into turn 1 with the 2 Renaults. Palmer touched with Magnussen there. We tried to go around the outside of Magnussen, couldn't quite get it done, and then yeah, Palmer spun off our right rear tire. As then you saw this move we did up the inside of Magnussen into turn 3. As we now cut on to the end of the virtual safety car period, into the end of lap 1. We're right at the back of Roman Grosjean in the Haas. We brake checked us on the restart. Thankfully we didn't break our front wing, as we now go up the inside of him, Sainz and Hulkenberg. We try and go around the outside of Hulkenberg into turn 2. We stick it around the outside. Can we get the move done? Yes, we can. Up into P13 after one full lap completed behind the back of the Russian into Toro, so Daniel Kvyat. And yeah, very good start to the race from us actually. I'm really positive about the next part of the race. As you can see now, cutting later on in lap 2, we're right at the back of Daniel Kvyat. We make a diving move, locking up the 2 front tires, and we still make the move done up into 12th place behind the McLaren Honda of Fernando Alonso. And hopefully we can use our Mercedes engine to good effect here, because let's face it, Mercedes power versus Honda power shouldn't really be too much of a fight between me and Alonso. We think better of it not to dive bomb into the last 2 corners. We stay in the slipstream of Alonso up into the inside. We try and have maybe a little look into Bottas, but we didn't quite get it done. But we still overtook Alonso when we're up into P11. As we now cut on to the start of lap 4, and we go up the inside of a lot of cars there. There's a big tray, and there's a Red Bull that spun. I think that's Max Verstappen, and we're up into P4. We're up into P4 of the Canadian Grand Prix after what, 3 laps racing on the 4th lap of the Grand Prix. That was a quite a kerfuffle there. You can see now on the replay up the inside of 4 cars, I think, and now you can see Max Verstappen got spun off by the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton, and we benefited from that hugely up into P4. And you can see here replay Verstappen going side by side with Vettel into turn 1, locks up the front left, and then just has no room left as Lewis Hamilton came into the chicane. And then yeah, the rest you saw as we now cut on to the end of lap 6, and we've already been called by the Williams of Felipe Massa, who's on the ultra soft tire. He's gonna probably pit at the end of this lap, so he's gonna have DRS and slipstream. I don't put up too much of a fight. I let him pass because he's gonna probably pit at the end of the lap, and so does he. And I got a bit distracted by him and cut the chicane, but then yeah, slow down to don't get any time, as we see now the leader Nico Rosberg getting out of the pit lane and already ahead of us. So that's just how dominant he's been this race so far. He already made a pit stop and he's ahead of us, as Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, who are ahead of us, have also pitted and are behind us, and they're gonna probably be catching up to us very soon as we now cut on later on in the race. And that's exactly what has happened. Hamilton and Vettel have already passed us. I don't put too much of a fight because, you know, I'm not racing either of them. I'm just gonna try and use them to drag me up with slipstream and DRS, and hopefully I can stick with them for 1 or 2 laps, because you know I'm with all the tires, and the MANOR chassis shouldn't really be competing with the Mercedes and Ferrari chassis in 2016. But yeah, you can see we're trying to stay close behind them, use the DRS, use the slipstream to drag me up, fighting with the likes of Ricciardo, Massa and Raikkonen, who I expect to be battling after I come to the pit lane, which will be on lap 12. As you can see, Hamilton and Vettel are already getting away from us, and we now cut on to the end of lap 12, where we make our pit stop, where we go from the yellow marked soft Pirelli tire to the purple marked ultra soft Pirelli rubber. Hopefully it's a smooth stop, no front wing change, although you can see here from this replay camera that my front wing doesn't look too healthy, but that's just the nose cone, and you know, on this game it doesn't really affect performance. So yeah, you can see here getting out of the pit lane, you can see the 3 cars ahead, Massa, Ricciardo and Raikkonen ahead of us, as there was a set of Pirelli tires just chilling there at the exit of the pit lane. But yeah, the 3 cars that were behind us before we pitted have now jumped us, Massa, Ricciardo and Raikkonen, so we're going to have to try and put our ultra soft tires into good use, and that's exactly what's happened at the end of lap 13. You can see a kerfuffle there between Massa and Raikkonen. We get a better exit of the final corner, and we pass them both with DRS up into P6 behind Daniel Ricciardo. We're gonna try and get Ricciardo, as Felipe Massa got disqualified from the race. You can see here parked up on the apex of turn 2. Thankfully he's ghosted, so he won't cause too much of a trouble for either of us. But yeah, we can now chase on Daniel Ricciardo and try to get into P5, as there's a certain Jensen Button right ahead of us on the soft tires, nursing them from the virtual safety car period as we go up the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. A bit of contact between us, throw the hand in frustration, but we still get it up into P5. And Jensen Button is ahead of us. We're now trying to catch up to him, but now coming on later on lap 15, Daniel Ricciardo with slipstream and DRS right behind us. He's gonna pass us. I'm not gonna put up too much of a fight once again. I'm just gonna use him. He's gonna surely 100% he's gonna 100% we both are gonna catch Jensen Button by the end of the race, because his tires are gonna be so worn at the end of the race. And I'm just gonna use Daniel Ricciardo for slipstream and DRS, and when we both catch the Jensen Button, then we're gonna try and pass both of them. But yeah, hopefully we catch Jensen, as we now cut on later on the start of the final lap. So this is gonna be one hell of a final lap. We can see Jensen Button just in the distance there, as we still can't get very close to Daniel Ricciardo. So if something's going to happen, it's going to happen on the lap. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen at the last lap of this race, and it will be a very tense last lap. I'm trying my best to stick close to Daniel Ricciardo and you can see Jenson Button right ahead of us as we now come closer to the end of the race. Nico Rosberg wins the 2016 Canadian Grand Prix. Such a dominant performance from him. And second place is gonna be for Lewis Hamilton. Third for Sebastian Vettel. Fourth Jenson Button. Daniel Ricciardo couldn't catch up to Jenson Button. Fifth place is for the Aussie in the Red Bull. We get a bit slowed down by our teammate Will Haryanto, who we lap at this 18th lap. Kimi Räikkönen right behind us. He's gonna finish in P7. We try our best to get a better race into the Daniel Ricciardo, but we don't have DRS. He has DRS. We're gonna finish in P6. Fantastic result considering we started from P22. Unbelievable race. Fantastic result. What an unbelievable race. Starting P22, finishing P6 in a MANOR racing team car, driving as Pascal Wehrlein. This has been definitely one of my best races on F1 2016 by far, and I've done a lot of races on this game, so yeah, this is definitely what I call a success. Getting 8 points. Starting P22 from Romania, fantastic result. If you enjoyed the video, guys, please do hit the like button, comment down below what are your thoughts of it, share the video if it's not too much trouble for you, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will hopefully see you for the Discovery episode, which I hope to get by the end of the race weekend, if not next week probably. But yeah, thank you guys for watching again, and see you next time. Goodbye.